This is my best thinking at the time. Get my gun, automatic, just like this, and just go crazy.
Who are you gonna hurt?
Regardless. That's just my first thought. But when I went to the hospital...
In a world stunned by shock and disbelief, a bombshell revelation shakes the very foundations of boxing history. Today, Mike Tyson breaks his silence, revealing heart-wrenching truths about the death of boxing legend George Foreman. His words, dripping with raw emotion, resound like a battle cry as he exclaims, "They killed him!" in a moment of unparalleled intensity, urging the world to question the unseen forces behind this tragic event. Brace yourselves for an extraordinary journey into the heart of controversy and the secrets that lie beneath the surface. The news of George Foreman's sudden passing has sent ripples of disbelief throughout the global sports community, leaving fans and experts alike grasping for answers amid a whirlwind of conflicting accounts and unresolved questions. For decades, Foreman's towering presence in the boxing world had not only defined a generation, but had also transcended the boundaries of sports to become a symbol of resilience, transformation, and entrepreneurial spirit. His remarkable career, punctuated by his formidable presence in the ring and his unexpected pivot into a life of business success, captured the hearts of millions. The legacy he built on grit, perseverance, and sheer determination has long served as an inspiration. And now, in the midst of tragedy, his untimely departure fuels a storm of emotions and suspicions that have left the world searching for clarity. As the investigation unfolds and new details emerge every day, Mike Tyson's impassioned declaration of "they killed him" has ignited both fervor and controversy. Tyson, a figure known for his own tumultuous journey through the highs and lows of boxing fame, has always spoken from a place of raw authenticity. His remarks, seemingly direct and unfiltered, have resonated deeply with many who view them as a cry against the dark undercurrents that occasionally mar the world of sports. Tyson's words evoke memories of his own battles inside and outside the ring, and in doing so, they bridge the gap between two titans of boxing whose lives, though different in many ways, share an undeniable common thread of overcoming adversity and challenging the status quo. In the days following the news, a fervent public outcry emerged from communities across continents as tributes to Foreman poured in from every corner of the globe. Fans recalled his astonishing victories, his magnetic personality, and the unique blend of humility and power that defined his every fight. Yet amidst the accolades and the tearful remembrances, an undercurrent of suspicion began to swirl. How could a man who had not only conquered opponents in the ring, but also defied expectations in life, meet such a mysterious end? This very question has spurred a relentless quest for truth, as conspiracy theories and investigative efforts mount in tandem with an outpouring of grief and disbelief. Mike Tyson's statement has not only startled longtime boxing enthusiasts, but has also captivated a wider audience that includes casual sports fans and conspiracy theorists. His comment appears to hint at a level of orchestration behind the tragedy that extends far beyond a mere accident or natural causes. While official channels continue to reiterate that the initial autopsy report and preliminary evidence point to unexpected health complications, Tyson's words invite a re-examination of the facts. They compel us to look beyond the surface and consider that behind every public tragedy, there may lie hidden narratives of betrayal, deceit, or deliberate malice. Tyson's blunt declaration forces the public to confront uncomfortable possibilities and challenges the very institutions that have long been trusted to safeguard the legacies of the icons they serve. For many, the thought of foul play in connection with Foreman's death is unthinkable, yet the question remains unavoidable. His life had been filled with extraordinary moments, from his meteoric rise to superstardom to his later reinvention as a beloved businessman, and each chapter seemed to affirm that no force on earth could extinguish his spirit. Now, as the investigation deepens, critics of the established order are questioning whether powerful interests or influential figures might have had a hand in silencing a man whose voice was as formidable as his punch. Tyson's own experience with the rough and tumble side of the boxing world lends a rare authenticity to these speculations. Having navigated treacherous waters himself, he is no stranger to the shadowy figures who often operate behind the scenes, and his declaration carries the weight of lived experience. The unfolding narrative is as complex as it is tragic, with numerous threads weaving together into a tapestry of mystery and mourning. Reporters, former colleagues and close friends of Foreman, have come forward with heartfelt memories and cryptic hints that something was amiss in the days leading up to his death. One longtime friend recalled a series of unusual events, suggesting that Foreman had been receiving discreet warnings, and that his public life may have masked an undercurrent of private turmoil. These murmurs of caution, once dismissed as the ramblings of an aging champion grappling with the inevitable, now acquire a chilling significance. In hushed tones and tearful interviews, those who knew him best speak of a man who was ever vigilant, whose innate sense of justice and fairness made him both a fierce competitor in the ring and a principled individual off it. Tyson's comments, delivered with the intensity that has become his trademark, serve as both a rallying cry and a lamentation. In one particularly candid interview, he recalled moments when he and Foreman would discuss the pressures of living in a world where the stakes are not merely about physical dominance, but also about the control of narratives and the power of influence. Tyson recalled, with a trembling sincerity, how Foreman had once confided his worries about hidden forces that seemed determined to mold public opinion and silence dissent. It is in these intimate recollections that Tyson's words take on an even greater poignancy. His exclamation, seemingly out of nowhere, is imbued with the sorrow and rage of a man who has seen too many of his peers fall victim to forces beyond their control. At the heart of this turbulent saga lies the collision of two eras, the bygone days of raw, unfiltered boxing and the modern age of media saturation and political intrigue. George Foreman, with his robust frame and larger-than-life persona, epitomized a time when the sport was as much about honor and valor as it was about spectacle and physical prowess. His every fight was a testament to the power of the human spirit, and his legacy was built on the conviction that even the most daunting challenges could be overcome with strength and perseverance. In stark contrast, the present day is marked by rapid technological advances, widespread misinformation, and the constant struggle for transparency in a world where every public figure is both celebrated and scrutinized. Tyson's revelation, therefore, resonates on multiple levels. It is not only a personal outpouring of grief and defiance, but also a symbolic representation of a deeper conflict between integrity and corruption. The current investigation into Foreman's death has taken on a frenetic pace, with multiple law enforcement agencies and independent bodies working tirelessly to piece together the events that led to his demise. Every new detail that emerges is met with both hope and suspicion, as the public clings to the possibility of a clear resolution, while simultaneously fearing that the truth may be forever obscured by layers of deception. In the midst of this tumult, Mike Tyson's voice has emerged as one of the most compelling, challenging the official narrative with a force that few could have anticipated. His words, stark and unyielding, call into question the motives of those in power, suggesting that behind the official reports and sanitized press releases lies a more disturbing reality. Throughout the unfolding drama, one cannot help but reflect on the legacy of both Foreman and Tyson, a legacy marked by triumphs, hardships, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Foreman, who once danced gracefully across the canvas of the boxing ring, became a mentor, an entrepreneur, and a symbol of hope for countless individuals striving to redefine themselves in the face of adversity. His infectious smile and boundless energy were a reminder that greatness often emerges from the most unlikely of places. In many ways, his life was a series of battles fought both inside and outside the ring, a testament to the indomitable human will. Now, with his passing shrouded in mystery, his memory serves as both an inspiration and a rallying point for those who refuse to accept easy answers. Mike Tyson, whose own career has been a roller coaster of triumphs and tribulations, has long been admired for his willingness to speak his mind, even when it meant courting controversy. His recent outburst, marked by the simple, yet explosive phrase, "They killed him," has reignited debates about accountability, justice, and the responsibility of those who wield power in society. For Tyson, the death of George Foreman is not just the loss of a great athlete, it is a symbol of a broader failure, a stark reminder that even the most celebrated figures are vulnerable to forces that operate in the shadows. His impassioned words are a call to arms for those who believe that the truth should never be sacrificed at the altar of expedience, and that every life, no matter how illustrious, deserves the dignity of an honest reckoning. In the weeks and months that have followed this seismic revelation, the public discourse has evolved into a multifaceted debate that spans the realms of sports, politics, and ethics. On one hand, there are those who cling to the official explanations provided by authorities, insisting that the tragic death was the result of unforeseen health complications, a natural, albeit sorrowful, end to a life that had seen its share of hardship. On the other hand, there is a growing chorus of voices that, emboldened by Tyson's declaration, demand a more thorough and transparent investigation. These voices argue that the circumstances surrounding Foreman's death are too extraordinary to be dismissed as mere chance, and they call for a renewed commitment to uncovering the truth, no matter how inconvenient it might be for those in power. The public reaction has been nothing short of overwhelming. Social media platforms have erupted with impassioned debates, with hashtags and trending topics dedicated to both honoring Foreman's legacy and demanding justice for his untimely demise. Emotional tributes blend with calls for accountability, creating a digital mosaic of grief, indignation, and hope. Amid this cacophony of voices, Mike Tyson's words stand out as a rallying cry, a beacon for those who refuse to be silenced by the machinery of officialdom. His sentiment encapsulates a universal truth, that when the mighty fall under suspicious circumstances, the collective conscience of society cannot remain indifferent. In a rare moment of candor during an exclusive interview, Tyson recounted memories of training sessions and backstage conversations with Foreman that now seemed to take on an eerie prescience. He recalled a time when Foreman, despite his larger-than-life persona, confided in him about the dark forces that lurked behind closed doors, a reality that had always been obscured by the dazzling lights of fame and fortune. Tyson's voice, tinged with both sorrow and determination, painted a picture of a man who was not only a champion in the ring, but also a guardian of principles that transcended the sport itself. This recollection has only deepened the mystery, as it hints at an undercurrent of intimidation and manipulation that might have played a role in the tragic events leading up to Foreman's death. As the investigation presses on, numerous experts and analysts have begun to scrutinize every detail of Foreman's final days. Medical professionals, forensic specialists, and even retired athletes have weighed in on the case, offering divergent opinions on what might have truly transpired. Some point to anomalies in the timeline of his symptoms, while others question the thoroughness of the initial examinations conducted by officials. The discrepancies in these accounts have fueled suspicions that there might be more to the story than meets the eye. In hushed conversations and heated debates alike, the phrase, "they killed him," has taken on a life of its own, a haunting refrain that encapsulates the anguish and confusion felt by those who admired Foreman, not only as a fighter, but as a man of unwavering character. It is in this climate of uncertainty and raw emotion that the legacy of George Foreman becomes even more potent. His journey from a relentless pugilist to a beloved public figure and astute businessman is a narrative steeped in both triumph and transformation. Foreman had mastered the art of reinvention, turning adversity into opportunity, and forging a legacy that transcended the confines of the boxing ring. His story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a quality that resonates deeply in times of crisis. Now, as questions about his death continue to mount, his life story serves as a beacon of inspiration and a call for a deeper exploration of the truth behind every headline, no matter how sensational it may appear. The world of boxing, already reeling from the loss of one of its greatest icons, now finds itself at a crossroads. Fans are left to reconcile the image of a man who embodied strength, honor, and an unyielding will to overcome obstacles, with the stark reality of his mysterious passing. The tension between the celebrated public persona and the possible machinations of unseen forces underscores a broader narrative, one that questions the very nature of fame and the often perilous price it demands. Tyson's fervent outcry, imbued with the passion of a man who has seen both the glory and the pitfalls of this unforgiving sport, is a clarion call to preserve the integrity of the truth. His words challenge us to consider the possibility that in the pursuit of power and control, even the mightiest of warriors can be brought low by forces operating far beyond the ring. In the aftermath of the tragedy, discussions have also turned to the responsibility of those who profit from the legacies of sports heroes. Critics argue that the commercialization of athletic greatness sometimes obscures the personal struggles and vulnerabilities of the individuals behind the legends. Foreman, who had skillfully navigated the transition from sports star to household name, became a victim not only of fate, but also of a system that often values image over substance. Tyson's remarks have lent new urgency to these debates, as his blunt expression of disbelief forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about exploitation, accountability, and the often blurred line between celebrity and commodity. Amid the turmoil, there have been efforts by various community leaders and former athletes to honor Foreman's memory by calling for a renewed commitment to justice and transparency. Vigils, memorial services, and public forums have sprung up across cities and countries, with each event serving as both a tribute to the man and a protest against the opaque forces that might have contributed to his demise. In these gatherings, the collective grief is palpable, yet it is interwoven with a determination to seek the truth. People from all walks of life come together, united by the belief that honoring Foreman's legacy means holding power to account and ensuring that one's life is reduced to a mere statistic or a convenient cover-up. Even as official investigations continue, a groundswell of independent inquiries has taken root online, with analysts and amateur sleuths meticulously piecing together timelines, statements, and circumstantial evidence. Every discrepancy, every unexplained event is scrutinized with an intensity that mirrors the passion of those who refuse to accept official narratives at face value. In this era of digital activism and global connectivity, the search for truth has become a community effort, with each new revelation adding another layer to the complex mosaic of events that led to Foreman's tragic end. Tyson's statement, echoing through forums and social media feeds, has become a symbol of resistance against complacency, a reminder that when the powerful try to bury the truth, it is the collective voice of the people that will ultimately rise. In one of the more revealing moments of recent interviews, Tyson recounted a conversation he once had with Foreman during a quiet moment in the midst of a bustling training camp. The legendary fighter had spoken of his concerns about the growing influence of shadowy figures who seemed more interested in controlling narratives than in celebrating genuine talent and hard work. Tyson, listening intently, could sense the weight of foreboding in his friend's tone, a warning that the world of boxing, with all its glitz and glamour, was also vulnerable to exploitation by those who operated in the shadows. This memory, shared with raw emotion and unfiltered honesty, has taken on new significance in light of recent events. It is a stark reminder that beneath the bright lights of fame, there are dark corners where truth is obscured and voices are silenced. The legacy of George Foreman is one that defies simple categorization. He was a man who rose above the limitations imposed by society, who redefined what it meant to be a champion both inside and outside the ring. His transition from a fearsome fighter to a savvy businessman was nothing short of revolutionary, and his later years were marked by a commitment to philanthropy and community service that endeared him to millions. Now, as the circumstances of his death are called into question, every aspect of his life, his victories, his struggles, his resilience, takes on an added poignancy. Tyson's fervent cry of, "They killed him!" is not merely an accusation. It is a plea for justice, a demand that the truth of Foreman's life and legacy be honored by uncovering every hidden detail. This unfolding saga is a powerful reminder of the fragility of life and the complexities that often lie behind the facades of public figures. In a world where information is as transient as it is overwhelming, the need for clarity and accountability becomes even more pressing. Tyson's outspoken stance, delivered with the unmistakable cadence of a man who has weathered his own storms, challenges us to look beyond the surface of headlines and to demand a deeper understanding of the forces that shape our collective destinies. His words resonate not only as a personal outcry, but as an invitation to engage in a broader dialogue about power, legacy, and the responsibility we all share in safeguarding the truth. In reflecting upon the remarkable journey of George Foreman, one cannot help but feel a profound sense of loss, not simply for the loss of a sports icon, but for the end of an era defined by authenticity, perseverance, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Foreman's story is a mosaic of triumphs and trials, a narrative that embodies the very essence of what it means to fight against the odds and emerge victorious, no matter how insurmountable the obstacles may seem. His legacy, now marred by the unanswered questions surrounding his death, calls on us to honor his memory by seeking answers and by never allowing the truth to be buried beneath layers of obfuscation. As the days turn into weeks and the investigation continues to unspool its tangled threads, the impact of Tyson's declaration reverberates across every facet of the sporting world. His words have become a symbol of defiance, a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human spirit can never be truly silenced. The intensity of his message compels us to remember that every great champion, every celebrated icon, is more than the sum of their victories. They are individuals whose lives, with all their complexity and nuance, deserve to be understood in their entirety, and whose departures from this world should prompt not only sorrow, but also a renewed commitment to uncovering the full story. In the final analysis, the tragic passing of George Foreman and the explosive commentary from Mike Tyson serve as a wake-up call to a society that often prefers convenient narratives over inconvenient truths. As we grapple with the myriad questions that remain unanswered, we are reminded that the pursuit of truth is a journey fraught with challenges, but one that is essential for the preservation of justice and integrity. Tyson's impassioned cry echoes in our collective conscience, urging us to dig deeper, to question more rigorously, and to hold accountable those who would obscure the truth behind layers of power and influence. The story of George Foreman, his storied career, his transformation into a beacon of hope, and his untimely and mysterious end, is now interwoven with a narrative of defiance, inquiry, and the relentless pursuit of justice. It stands as a testament to the enduring legacy of a man who refused to be confined by conventional expectations and whose life continues to inspire and challenge us. Mike Tyson's unabashed statement, far from being dismissed as the rant of a former rival or a relic of a bygone era, is being taken seriously by many who demand that every stone be turned in the quest for truth. His words compel us to ask difficult questions and to remain vigilant in the face of uncertainties that lurk beneath the surface of even our most cherished institutions. As the investigation presses forward and more details begin to emerge, one thing is abundantly clear. The legacy of George Foreman will not be defined solely by the accolades he amassed in the ring or the entrepreneurial success he achieved later in life. Rather, it is the indomitable spirit that he embodied, the courage to reinvent himself, to stand up for what he believed in, and to fight relentlessly against the odds that will continue to resonate with generations to come. In the echo of Tyson's impassioned cry, there lies a call to action for all who believe that the truth must be unearthed, no matter how deeply it is hidden beneath layers of obfuscation and deceit. In the end, the unfolding drama surrounding Foreman's death and Tyson's stirring proclamation reminds us that even the greatest among us are not immune to the unpredictable forces of life. The mysteries that now shroud this tragedy compel us to honor Foreman's memory not by accepting convenient explanations, but by relentlessly seeking the truth. The impact of his life, his contributions to sport, and the legacy he leaves behind are too profound to be reduced to a mere footnote in an official report. Instead, they demand a celebration of every moment of triumph, every instance of bravery, and every act of defiance that defined his extraordinary journey. As we stand at this critical juncture, with emotions running high, and the call for accountability echoing across the globe, Mike Tyson's words will undoubtedly remain etched in our collective memory. His declaration is more than a statement. It is a symbol of resistance against the forces that would see the truth buried. It is a reminder that in the realm of legends, every detail matters, and that the voices of those who have fought valiantly for truth and justice must never be silenced. In a world where the lines between fact and fiction are increasingly blurred, Tyson's voice cuts through the noise, demanding that we never forget the man behind the myth. This intricate tapestry of events, woven from threads of admiration, suspicion, and unwavering determination, invites us to embark on a journey of introspection and inquiry. It challenges us to look beyond the immediate shock of the headlines and to recognize that every public tragedy carries with it a deeper narrative, a narrative that speaks to our collective desire for honesty, transparency, and ultimately, justice. In the wake of Foreman's passing, as the world grapples with loss and the unsettling possibility that powerful forces may have conspired to snuff out a luminary, we are compelled to honor his memory by embracing the full complexity of his legacy. The impact of this saga will likely be felt for many years to come, as historians, sports enthusiasts, and the general public alike continue to piece together the mosaic of events that led to one of the most mysterious and tragic losses in boxing history. In the process, they will be guided by the enduring spirit of George Foreman and the unyielding determination of voices like Mike Tyson's, which remind us that the search for truth is never in vain. It is a quest that unites us all, a shared responsibility to ensure that the legacy of those who have shaped our world is preserved in its entirety, with every nuance and every hidden detail brought to light. In this era of rapid change and relentless scrutiny, the call for justice is more resonant than ever. The heart-wrenching loss of George Foreman, coupled with the explosive revelations from Mike Tyson, has opened a new chapter in the ongoing dialogue about power, legacy, and accountability. As the investigation advances and more evidence is brought forth, the world watches with bated breath, united by a common hope that the truth will prevail, that justice will be served, and that the life of a man who gave so much will be honored in the way he truly deserves. Ultimately, the saga of George Foreman and the impassioned outcry of Mike Tyson remind us that the stories of our heroes are never truly complete until every stone has been turned and every unanswered question has been addressed. They are a testament to the enduring power of legacy, the strength of the human spirit, and the eternal quest for truth that binds us all together. In the echo of Tyson's rallying cry, we find not only the spirit of a fighter, but also the enduring hope that one day, the mysteries behind this tragic event will be fully unraveled, and the legacy of George Foreman will shine as brightly as the man himself once did. As we continue to navigate these tumultuous times, the call to action is clear. Let us stand together in the pursuit of truth, honor the memory of a great champion, and ensure that no voice is ever silenced by the shadows of uncertainty. In doing so, we pay homage not only to the life and legacy of George Foreman, but also to the unyielding spirit of every individual who dares to challenge the status quo, to speak out against injustice, and to demand a world where truth is celebrated above all else. The journey ahead may be fraught with challenges and unanswered questions, but it is a journey we must undertake together, a journey driven by the belief that in the end, every life matters, every truth must be told, and every legacy must be preserved for the sake of future generations. In the aftermath of this earth-shattering revelation, as tributes continue to pour in and investigations forge ahead, the world remains united in its grief and its determination. The loss of George Foreman is not just a personal tragedy for those who loved him. It is a loss felt by an entire community, by a world that has long looked up to his example of resilience, strength, and unwavering dignity. The words of Mike Tyson, echoing with the intensity of a man who has lived through his own battles, serve as a clarion call for accountability and for the preservation of a truth that transcends the transient nature of fame. His emphatic cry is a beacon, illuminating the path toward justice in a time when shadows threaten to obscure the light of truth. The legacy of George Foreman will forever be enshrined in the annals of history as a symbol of transformation, perseverance, and the enduring human spirit. His life, marked by extraordinary victories, personal reinventions, and an unshakable commitment to honor and integrity, stands as a testament to the power of determination. Now, as the details surrounding his untimely passing continue to surface, and the call for transparency grows louder, his memory becomes even more significant, a rallying point for all who believe that every life, every story, and every triumph deserves to be celebrated with the full measure of truth and respect. In this time of mourning and introspection, it is incumbent upon us to carry forward the legacy of George Foreman by demanding that every unanswered question be explored and that every piece of evidence be scrutinized with the utmost care. The explosive revelations brought forth by Mike Tyson serve not only as a condemnation of possible wrongdoing, but also as a tribute to a man whose impact was felt far beyond the confines of the boxing ring. They compel us to question the systems that have long been accepted without challenge, and to stand up for the values of justice, accountability, and transparency in every arena of life. As we reflect on the remarkable life of George Foreman and the seismic impact of his passing, we are reminded that the search for truth is an eternal endeavor, one that requires not only courage but also a collective commitment to ensuring that the legacies of our heroes are never diminished by the forces of corruption or complacency. The passionate outburst from Mike Tyson, laden with both sorrow and righteous indignation, calls on us all to remain vigilant, to question relentlessly, and to honor the memories of those who have shaped our world by refusing to let the truth be hidden away. In the end, the story that has now captivated the hearts and minds of millions is more than just a tale of loss. It is a testament to the enduring power of legacy, the unbreakable bonds of brotherhood forged in the crucible of combat, and the unwavering belief that truth, no matter how deeply buried, will one day emerge. As we await further developments and the eventual unveiling of every hidden detail, let us remember George Foreman, not only for the battles he fought in the ring, but also for the hope he instilled in all of us. A hope that in the face of insurmountable odds, the spirit of a true champion will never be extinguished. The enduring echo of Tyson's words, "They killed him. now reverberates as a challenge to every institution that has ever turned a blind eye to injustice. It is a reminder that the story of George Foreman is still being written, a story that demands to be told in full with every nuance and every truth illuminated for the world to see. In honoring his memory and relentlessly seeking answers, we carry forward a legacy that is as much about the triumph of the human spirit as it is about the relentless pursuit of justice and truth. In this pivotal moment, as the world mourns the loss of a beloved champion and grapples with the unsettling implications of his death, we are reminded that the struggle for truth is never-ending. It is a journey marked by both heartbreak and hope, by moments of profound sorrow and flashes of undeniable brilliance. The life and legacy of George Foreman stand as a beacon in these dark times, urging us to never settle for half-truths or convenient narratives, but to continue digging deeper until every secret is revealed and every injustice is addressed. May the memory of George Foreman inspire us to champion the causes of truth and accountability, and may Mike Tyson's fervent call echo in our hearts as we strive to ensure that the legacy of a true giant is honored with the respect and dignity it so richly deserves. In the face of uncertainty and in the midst of turmoil, his words remind us that the fight for justice is one that unites us all, a fight that even in the darkest moments is fueled by an unwavering belief in the power of truth and the strength of the human spirit.